my name is Ms. Vanoy, and I'm going to talk to you today about a common misconception when we read and as writers, getting confused with what mood is and what tone is. And they can be very similar, but they are definitely not the exact same thing. So let's kind of quickly go through the differences. I want to talk about what each is, give you some examples, and I also want to talk about like what they like a kind of compare and contrast them so we really know that we understand it. Often people mistake them. They use tone and mood interchangeably, but they're actually very different. Both do think about feeling words, though. Those emotional words, think about like positive, negative, or neutral. So they're both involve like happy, excited, sad, restless, skeptical, threatened, offended. All of those words are feeling words, and both do involve being able to connect and recognize to those emotional words. Tone, though, is the word choice that conveys the author's attitude towards the subject. So it's just like how when we decided about what is topic and central idea, what is the subject, that topic, and then you think about what words did the author use to describe that subject. Were they positive, negative words? Were they neutral words? Did it not give you a positive or a negative feeling? Tone tells us what the author thinks. It's more of revealing that and what they feel about the subject. And it's really important, especially later on when you try to decide what the bias might be of an author or a writer. It's kind of like in politics, you can write about the exact same situation, and maybe one side of one political party may interpret it one way and use words that let us know they think that's dumb or stupid. The tone is much different than the other political party who may look at it as more factual and valid and truthful, and their tone might be very different. So you've got to be able to read the fact that sometimes authors try to slip their opinions in there without actually saying, this is my opinion. They can write an informative piece, but their tone may be so obviously against the subject that it affects you as a reader if you don't understand how they have used certain word choices to affect the tone. I want you to think about those emotional feelings of those words. When you think about tone, it's the word choice, just like mood is word choice, but it's describing the subject. So in these two sentences I have up here, I think my face is blocking one of them. It's the exact same situation. It's kind of like we talk about denotation and connotation. Connotation is the emotional feeling of the words. Denotation is like exactly what happened, like the dictionary definition. Here are the two descriptions that I used. Last night, there was a group of sneaky thugs loitering around Lancaster Elementary's playground. Last night, there was a group of kids hanging out at Lancaster Elementary's playground. It's the exact same situation, but two different authors interpreted it differently by using different types of word choice. And the tone that they use, one of them is very positive, the last one I read, and one of them is very negative. Or you could say it's neutral, maybe the last one's neutral. But the first one, when you call somebody a sneaky thug and you're saying they're loitering somewhere, that's definitely a negative thing. And I've got my negative and positive mixed up on that. Now, on to mood. Now that we know that tone is also about word choice, but it's the author's attitude towards the subject, mood is more about that emotional feeling, the atmosphere you get when you read something. Like when you read a scary story, it feels creepy or suspenseful. A romantic story may make you want to kind of swoon and feel lovey-dovey and butterflies in your heart. It's kind of like the metaphor of if you could literally walk inside the novel that you're reading and walk around and interact with the setting and the characters in the book, what kind of emotional feeling would you have? Another way to kind of explain that, for that to really hit home, is like, have you ever walked in on your parents or friends or whatever having a fight, and you walked in after maybe the words were done being said, the fight was over, but you could feel that energy, that intensity in the room. Maybe it's the body language, it's the words that are still kind of hanging in the air, using that kind of metaphor. It's that feeling you get when you walk in where you feel like, ooh, you still feel that intensity. That's what mood is. It's the atmosphere of what's going on around you, the way the characters are described, their feelings, their emotions, the words that describe the setting, and the actions that they do. Now, here is a Venn diagram, a basic Venn diagram that tells you the similarities and differences. They both deal with word choice. Very important. We wouldn't know anything about what we read unless we could really look at the individual words the author used. Both involve, feeling words. They're both about kind of an emotional feeling. The difference is tone is the emotional feeling of the author, of the person who's actually writing it, while mood is the emotional feeling that the reader takes away from it. It's that atmosphere. So you can also think of it as tone is all about the author's feelings, while mood is all about the reader's feelings. And again, both, you want to think about those feeling words and whether they're positive, negative, neutral, or what it is that you feel. So this is just kind of recapping and summing it up. Feeling words, tone is author's attitude. Mood is the emotional feeling of the reader when they read the writing piece. If you have any more questions, never hesitate to contact me. I hope you have a great day, and I hope this cleared some things up for you. Thank you. Bye.